What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
From her What Do You Mean channel.
This is another video addressed to the Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison. Do we all remember this video from earlier in the year that he released? Now, Scott Morrison is currently in the USA, and for whatever reason, he found it appropriate to give America $150 million to go towards going to the moon and Mars. Yes, Australia gave America money to go to space. Whatever happened to helping the Australian people, Scott? You even went out of your way to make videos with weirdly upbeat background music to address the suicide problem in Australia. Now, the last video I did on this exact thing was in the context of you refusing to raise New Start and forcing Australians to live in poverty. Shortly after making that video, I learnt about Jared. He received a robo-debt. He took his life. He was only 22 years old. His mother lost her son. And Mr. Prime Minister, these were his last words. Free will is an illusion that inhibits us from correcting the system, instead punishing those who are a product of their environment. That was just after I made the other video addressing this. Today I've just come to learn about a 19-year-old mother who just took her life, and that she's left a child in the world without a mother because she was already living under the poverty line and she received a $9,000 robo-debt. These are your policies, Mr. Morrison. These are actions and choices and pain inflicted by your government. Now, I want to tell you about Tyson. He is the reason I started making this video. I watched the Channel 7 news clip probably no more than 2 hours ago. Tyson lived in a country town with his parents and sisters, and he recently took his own life. A family could see the warning signs and they went to go get him help. They were told it would be months until he could see somebody. Tyson was only 12 years old, and in the same town, other parents lost both their sons. One town, 3 sons buried by their parents, one as young as 12, who went to seek help but was told he had to wait. Now imagine if that $150 million wasn't going to America to go to space. Imagine if you invested that $150 million in, I don't know, rural mental health. Imagine if you kept that $150 million and perhaps rolled back the robo-debt. This blatant disregard for human lives, for the humans that you're meant to be the leader of, is beyond disturbing. I'm frightened for my country, I'm frightened for my people, and you call yourself a man of God. Now, since 2008 to 2017, we have lost 26,722 people to suicide in this country. They haven't yet released the figures for 2018 on the Australian Bureau of Statistics, but I have read somewhere that 2019 is rapidly approaching the number of 3,000 again. Now, I'll wrap this up. We'll just do some quick math for you, Mr. Morrison. 3,000 people divided by 365 days in the year gives us approximately 8. It's 8.2, but we'll go with 8. 8 people a day die at their own hands in this country. This country that wouldn't have any more than 25 million people as a whole. We lose 8 people a day. I believe it's 3 times the amount of males to females. So we'll say 6 blokes and 2 women every day. So 24 divided by 8 is 3, Mr. Morrison. So every 3 hours, you could say we've lost another Australian. Some from as young as the age of 12, some for mental health issues, things that are personally impacting them in their lives, people that are going through extreme financial hardship that are being made worse by your policies, Mr. Morrison, and rampant hopelessness, especially among people my age and younger, with your refusal to face the crisis our planet is facing. Because yes, I believe in people getting the help they need, seeking counselling, possibly medication, but always having someone to talk to is a good place to start. But then I've always been a huge believer in, if we want to keep people living, we need to give them a world worth living in. It doesn't matter if you're happy as an individual by yourself, but as soon as you look out the window and you see the world crumbling around you, you can't stay happy. I'll send this painting to you, Mr. Morrison. I think I have a stamp. I'll send it to the Prime Minister's office. So you might remember, 8 people a day, a person every 3 hours. Okay guys, let's make him see this. Let's make this one get noticed. Share it on your Facebook, tweet it out, and at the Prime Minister, at Scott Morrison, use any and every hashtag. Robodebt, climate crisis, not my PM, Ozpol, gotcha for life, are you okay? Because that's exactly why I make these videos. So there's a little piece of something on the internet to show that the guys in Parliament might not be doing anything or might not care, but somebody out there does. I do, and I will always fight for all of us. So please, help me let the Australian Prime Minister know that we see him. Because I'm doing this for the 19-year-old mother and 22-year-old Jared and 17-year-old Jordakai and 12-year-old Tyson. I'm doing this for my best friend's uncle and the people I know that are still struggling at this very moment, and anybody who you've thought of during this. That's why I'm doing it, for them, because we are in this together, and the least I can do that I can think of is not let Morrison get away with this not being on his digital record. Let it be known that that man does not value human lives. Thank you for watching. Please tweet this and at the Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison. No matter who you are, where you're from, let him know that we know.